Yo, what's up, guys? Trooper Talks back at it again here with another Bad Batch review. This time we're going to be reviewing episode 4 of The Bad Batch. Just some initial thoughts on the episode. We do get to see a lot of Crosshair and Omega interacting with each other as they try to get back to the rest of the Bad Batch. It's interesting to see Crosshair and Omega's dynamic develop further. Their contrasting personalities and backgrounds create a compelling dynamic, and it will be interesting to see how their relationship evolves as the series progresses. Additionally, the focus on their journey back to the Bad Batch adds a layer of tension and suspense to the episode. Overall, it seems like another great episode in the series, and I'm eager to see where the story goes from here.
For the first time watching, I really like this episode, but honestly, besides the developing dynamic between Omega and Crosshair, I feel like it wasn't super necessary. It was fun, sure, we got to see some of their vibes, some Empire stuff, and some gambling scenes. But honestly, they could have skipped straight to meeting up with Hunter and Wrecker at the end. But you know, there were some specific parts I did enjoy, like their little chats and stuff, especially when Omega decides to go after the Hound at the end. Crosshair has this inner battle like he could totally bail, but he chooses to help Omega. It's like he's becoming more human, showing he cares about Omega. That's pretty cool, seeing them grow like that. So I think that was kind of just the main takeaway from this episode, just seeing the character development of Crosshair and Omega.
Yeah, you raise a valid point. It's quite a skippable episode, honestly. Throughout, there's this ongoing dilemma of how to leave the planet. They discover they need to pay 30,000 credits for passage without protection. So they gamble and win, but the credits are taken by an Imperial officer, then they steal a cargo ship and leave. The setup for the credits feels irrelevant. Eventually, they reunite with Hunter and Wrecker, a fast reunion. I expected it to be more drawn out, with some exploration of what happened to the clones who went with them. I really thought they were going to kind of drag it out with some adventures, at least showing Hunter and Wrecker, because we really only got to see one episode of them. Who even knows what happened to those other clones that went with them?
Yeah, you know, that scene with Omega playing card games caught me off guard. It looked like some kind of poker, and she was surprisingly good at it. I kept waiting for an explanation like why she's so skilled, but we didn't get one. I mean, she's winning all these credits and beating the Imperial officer, but it's left unexplained. And about the reunion with the Bad Batch, I thought it might have been stretched out longer like Disney tends to do with their series. But hey, they met up pretty quickly in this episode. I do enjoy the extra adventures, but it was nice to get straight to the point. Even though this episode felt a bit like filler, it was solid overall.
Yeah, the dynamic between Crosshair and Omega was definitely a highlight of this filler episode. Their contrasting personalities create differing interactions, with Crosshair's cold rationality contrasting Omega's optimism and enthusiasm. It's interesting to see how they navigate situations differently, sometimes favoring direct action and other times seeking smarter solutions. As for the direction of the series, it's a valid question. With the reunion of the Bad Batch already achieved, it raises the question of what comes next. Will they simply evade the Empire on a remote island indefinitely? It seems unlikely that the Empire's pursuit would cease, but the series will need to introduce new conflicts and challenges to keep the narrative engaging. It'll be interesting to see where the story goes from here and what new obstacles the Bad Batch will face.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think most people can guess how this season will end. The Bad Batch will probably reunite and either launch an attack on the Imperial base or face off in a big battle to see who comes out on top. But I think this season will focus a lot on bringing in familiar faces and building up the characters over the 15 episodes. We've already seen some big names in the trailer like Asajj Ventress, Fennec Shand, and Cad Bane. I'm sure there will be more cameos to fill out the episodes. Overall, it's off to a solid start. I like the darker tone they're going for compared to some of the earlier episodes of the Clone Wars, which felt too kiddish. But personally, I think they should definitely continue with these darker themes and storylines. I think it would appeal to a lot more people.
Definitely, and the reunion scene at the end of the episode was emotionally charged, especially with Crosshair's unexpected appearance. While Omega's joy was palpable, the tension between Crosshair and the rest of the squad was evident. Hunter and Wrecker's mixed reactions reflected the complex feelings of betrayal and uncertainty surrounding Crosshair's return. Despite their previous mission to rescue him, Crosshair's past actions still weigh heavily on the squad's relationship. The betrayal runs deep, and it's unclear if those bonds can be fully repaired. The next episode promises to delve into these dynamics further, exploring how the squad navigates Crosshair's return and potentially confronts the lingering repercussions of Tech's demise, which Crosshair potentially remains unaware of. It's a pivotal moment that will undoubtedly shape the direction of their journey moving forward.
Yeah, I'm really excited for what's coming up next. The tension between the Bad Batch is intense, especially after that teaser at the end of the episode. I can't wait to see their next conversation, especially about Tech's death and why Crosshair decided to help Omega. There's going to be a lot of conflict and conversation, which I'm really looking forward to. Other than that, this episode had some cool dynamics, but not a lot of big takeaways. It sets up the next episode nicely, though. And I think we can all agree we're eager to see episode 5 and what they're going to talk about. Overall, it was a solid episode, but I'm definitely looking forward to the next one.
Absolutely. Despite being a relatively low-key episode in terms of plot progression, it still managed to have great moments between character dynamics and the anticipation it built for future developments. The cliffhanger ending leaves us eagerly awaiting the next episode, wanting more answers and resolutions to the tensions introduced. Overall, it was a satisfying episode that kept us engaged and invested. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the episode and want to see more, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week for the next Bad Batch review.